Hello guys, and here we are with a new video linked to the Ultimate Hattrick tutorial series. This time we'll speak about the main lineup, the most common one. I think that in this channel I share with you a lot of contents about the plan, the targets, how to build players, and at the same time how to buy players, because you need to understand the quality players that can support your team to win. But still, I was not able to share, I had no time to share with you something more specific about the tactic of the game. And I think that with this episode about the 3-5-2, 2-5-3, 4-4-2, the most common lineup, I can help you. Because you need to know how to leverage on them depending also on your training, on your plan. So for each episode we'll speak about one specific lineup, understanding the main concept. You know that I like to make it simple, everything. And we'll see also, thanks to the simulator of the game, which kind of player you need for your lineup. And this I think will be helpful. We'll see the top players, but also average example for players that maybe are at the middle of the series. And at the end of the episodes, I would like to do just one session of examples looking at Hattrick matches, top matches in the national teams, in the top leagues, looking at the real example, top matches in which we can see the top manager, how they are facing together the matches, looking at the best counter of specific lineup, the main repositioning, the most common one, the main marking. I think at the end of this episode you will know how to leverage your lineup and also how to face your opponents that maybe is with a different training, is more expert on specific. For example, you need to play against a long shot team, against a counter attack, and how you can leverage on your players in the field, which kind of lineup you need to put to improve the chance to win and the replays. This is what I would like to do. Let's hope that I will be able. Please, before to start, as always, push the like, comment the episode. I need to understand what you need to help you in a better way, and follow the channel. So now, let's start. First, the intro. And here we are. We need to start from the most played lineup, that is the 3-5-2. More or less the 50% of the player is using this lineup. Why? Hey guys, firstly, I think that the main concept of the three, I can answer in this way for me. The 3-5-2 is answering is in the best way, is following the best way the match engine. If you don't know how is working the match engine, I made a video and will give you the link. Anyway, you need to win actions. You have specific actions for each match. To win the action you need midfield. The 3-5-2, thanks to 5 players in the midfield, is one of the most useful lineup to push the ratings in the midfield, to gain action that can be converted in goals. So this is one of the most important concept. On top of that, I would like to underline to you that to provide to your team a good level of midfield, for sure your 5 players in the midfield are the most important contributor. The 3 inner midfielders with playmaking and the wingers with playmaking. More playmaking you can give to them, better is. But the beauty of the 3-5-2 is the fact that all the players in the field can support in a proper way the midfield ratings. The central defender is one of the most important one. Is providing a lot the midfield with his playmaking skill, but also the forwards, and with less contribution, but also the wingbacks can support the midfield. So when you are buying players, you are training players, for sure the priority is push playmaking in the following 5 players, but also around them all the team is supporting the midfield ratings. On top of that, the beauty of the 3-5-2 that help you to win a lot of time the replays and so to increase the chance to win the matches is the fact that thanks to this composition you are able to provide good level, balanced level, competitive level of defending and attack. So the defense and offensive ratings. For the defense, the goalkeeper is so important because it's providing defense in all the three sides of the defense, but also the defenders, of course, but not only. Also here, when you are buying players or you are building your players in this part of the lineup, you need to remember that also the inner midfielders are supporting the defense ratings and also the wingers. Or even more, think about the powerful inner midfielder defensive, how much can support on top of to stop the action of the opponent thanks to the specialty, but thanks to the defending skill, how much can support mainly the central defend ratings. And also for the attack ratings, you have for sure the forwards that thanks to the scoring skill, to the winger skill, to the passing skill is improving the attack ratings, but also the other teammates are providing attack ratings. Let's start from the wingers that thanks to mainly the winger skill and also passing is pushing the attack ratings. Let's think about the inner midfielder that thanks to passing and also scoring is pushing the central attack mainly. But also the wingbacks are supporting the side attacks thanks to the winger skill. So when you are building a 3-5-2, you need to think about that to improve the ratings on all the part of your lineup, the defense, the midfield and the attack. Now we understood more or less the main overview, how you can influence the sides of your lineup. For example, if you want to improve the side attacks, you have all the wingers, but also the wingbacks that can support you, together with the forwards, of course, mainly. And all these topics you need to take in consideration when you are building your best 3-5-2. Now, thanks to the simulator, we will see which kind of player you need and how you can improve your 3-5-2. Okay guys, here we are with the simulator. Let's go with the top players that could make a strong 3-5-2. We will see the top and after we will give some example with cheaper players or player most common that the average users could have or could buy, let me say, or build. Firstly, let's start from the goalkeeper. So goalkeeper, it means that you need to have goalkeeping, defending and set pieces. So this is the level, the top level for a goalkeeper, and we put as goalkeeper. Just a comment, I won't mention the specialties for all because I made a lot of plenty of contents in my channel and you can check mainly the video related to the top specialties 2025. You will find all the information about the top specialty depending on the role. Here we will focus on the skills and thanks to the skill how to play the 3-5-2. Now let's go to the central defender. That is a nice topic for the 3-5-2. Now the first example will be with a double 17, so you same level of defending and playmaking at a little bit of passing that help the tactic like play creativity, the special event, or maybe you need to play counter attack sometimes and you, with 4-4-2 and you need anyway passing and you can this player need to play in every situation. He's so strong that he need also passing. But for a 3-5-2 the top concept is double 17, both defending and playmaking. Keep the proportion, so if you are in a lower series, double 15, just to give an idea. After wingbacks, defending is important. Same level of the central defender. At the end, you are defending in the same way. Playmaking is important in a little bit of the playmaking. Mainly also if you're putting him toward the middle will help you to boost a little bit more the playmaking and to gain the gap maybe if you are away. Winger skill depends which kind of wingback you want. If you want a full wingback that is supporting the side attacks, the level need to be the same, like the central defender that I was showing to you before. Same level of the winger skill is the same of the defending to push the side attack. Passing need to be average 9, 10 to support you to use him also if you play counter attack. Same topic. All the defender, it's easier to have at 9 average 10 that in case you need you have already ready for the counter attack. Now let's give another example. Directly it's difficult to have two wingbacks like this. Ideally here you could have a man marker. You need 18 because you need to have a high primary skill, need to be powerful, that will give a boost of 10%. And here depends on your budget. An easy example, you could have something like that. I like anyway that this player is with passing, because you never know, maybe you don't need to do the man marking, but you need to play counter attack, and at least this defender can support you on that. On top of that, if you are able to have a man marker that is also set pieces taker, could be really interesting, because when you do man marking, you will cut also the value of the skill of your player by 50% or even more if he's in the wrong position, let me say. But set pieces skill won't be impacted, so could be the perfect player that can be both man marker and set pieces taker. So this player we can put here, and you know, the man marker is the most important player right now, and also the cheaper one. So you need to have in your 352, and on top of that, with just 1 million you can have it. So this is just something that I want to share with you. After that, let's go with the inner midfielder. 11 that support the defense. 19 playmaking will cost you a lot, but this is also the proportion. You need to go really high in playmaking to push the midfield. You are playing 3-5-2. Passing 13, scoring 7. This kind of player help you to firstly gain the midfield. After that, support both the defense, both the attack, thanks to passing and scoring. Now let's duplicate this inner midfielder for 3. And now let's see the wingers. The wingers need to be in this way, in a 3-5-2. Allora, gain midfield, it means 18 playmaking. Support the offensive ratings, it means side attacks, these are the two main primary skills for wingers. Passing, okay? On top of that, you need also to support the defense. All the players in the lineup are supporting average everything: the defense, the midfield, and the attack ratings. So you need 9 average. This player is a really strong winger, and we'll copy paste. Now let's do the forward. Speaking about forwards, we need to mention for sure the powerful. The powerful, you need to have it in a 3-5-2, because with his playmaking skill that it's needed for the event of the PNF, anyway, is supporting the midfield. On top of that, you need scoring that will be able to convert the PNF action. Playmaking is triggering, scoring is trying to score the goal of the event, and also, for my point of view, you need a same level of winger and passing. If you have problem for the cycle to find in the market, also less winger and more passing is for sure possible. In this way you will provide more. Is not working. I said 10 and 10. In this way you improve the side attacks. In this way you improve the central attack mainly. You can also have something like that. You will reduce the side attacks, but you will improve the central attack, that for the sub-level sometimes is not working, you see? So depend on you. You know that you are just moving the values from one side to another one. This is the PNF, but you need to have also the normal forward. And how could be? Firstly, scoring. Let's put already in the field, let's see if you see. Okay, scoring is important, but also passing. That will support you to improve the attack ratings, mainly the center, but not only. The winger skill, that at the same level of passing is supporting you to improve the side attacks. And playmaking, that is supporting the midfield. I put him a little bit less than the other because for me, considering the PNF that is already pushing a lot the midfield, the normal forward can be also with less playmaking. Now, this is in general what you could do. Obviously you can do some repositioning. Firstly, for how are built these wingers, they can be in midfield. You see, you improve a lot toward middle, sorry. In this way you are improving the midfield by half 0.75. So you are improving a lot, and maybe away is really helpful to cover the gap against the opponent. You are reducing the side attack, but you are also improving the central attack. Have a look, now we are at 15, and putting normal you have less central attack. And also the same concept is for the central defense. So really you are moving the values from the side to the middle, improving the midfield. Remember also how it works, the match engine. I give you the link of how it works. I suggest you to check it. And obviously in this way you are increasing the chance to gain actions, and you are proving the central attack that is the side that should have more action, considering how it works, the match engine. Now, what we are seeing that in this way you have a good balanced level of defense and a quite good level of attack ratings and a huge and important midfield. Here you see that one side is lower due to the fact that we are playing with a set pieces taker that with less winger skill, we are playing with a man marker, is normal. Now, another topic that I want to mention is the central defender. I suggested to buy a player to have a central defender with double 17 in defending playmaking. This kind of player, thanks to the playmaking skill, can be used to play offensive. In this way you will lose defending, but you will improve even more midfield. This kind of repositioning with the two wingers toward middle, the central defender offensive, will help you mainly in the away matches, or in the matches in which you have less team spirit than the opponent, in which you are with less midfield than the opponent. Now, the central defender can be also in a different way. Let's have a look. Can be with more defense and will improve the, let's put him normal. Let's come back in 17. So if you improve at 18, for sure will support even more the defense ratings with less playmaking. Sometimes, depending on the sum of the skill of the other players, you even won't see any malus in the midfield from 15-17. Anyway, really depends on the other players. For sure, will support less the midfield, but this kind of player is the perfect central defender normal. If you need someone that is supporting more the midfield, being offensive, central defender offensive, you need more playmaking playing with the double 17. This player is perfect to play like this, to pushing more the defense. Anyway, providing the good level of midfield thanks to a good level of playmaking. Now, other examples. The inner midfielder. These are the standard one, but you could have a different situation. You could have a situation like this. Let's go to Echo. You could have a powerful inner midfielder defensive, and here you could have 15 in defense, so you will improve even more the defense. Obviously you will have less passing and scoring, maybe just with the one that is the skill at the beginning when he was born. This is a strong powerful inner midfielder defensive, and this player you need to play in this way, because in this way will improve the defense ratings and will try to stop the action thanks to the specialty. Okay, now this is a possible defensive inner midfielder, but you could have also an offensive inner midfielder. You can play with him, you will improve anyway the attack ratings, but you can even make him more suitable per that kind of repositioning. How? Let's take golf. Maybe he will have less defense, but you see, considering that he's offensive, the impact of the defending skill is less relevant, so you won't have any decrease, but you need to increase passing. You need to have 15 and improve more attack. In this way you will have an improvement in the attack ratings, and this is a really nice inner midfielder offensive. So these are examples how to have players depending on the lineup. In this case the 3-5-2, in this case you will have playmaking more or less everywhere. You are moving the skill defense or attack passing depending on the kind of inner midfielder that you want. And now let's try to give other example. You have budget problem, so you cannot have this kind of wingers. The first thing that you can do is the following. You have already one side that is less aggressive in terms of side attacks, due to the fact that you have a wingback without too much winger skill. You can have your other winger, maybe you have just one winger that is a good level of winger, the other one can be a winger perfect to be a winger toward middle. What does it mean? That is supporting anyway the midfield thanks to 18 playmaking, but is just with, I don't know, 10 in winger. Obviously you are losing side attacks, but it's normal, but still you are giving priority to support the midfield. Maybe can be 10 in defending. Now you don't see anything, but depending on the sub-levels of the other players, the sum of the skills, but you can, thanks to 10, let's see the example. Okay, if you improve defense, you will improve the defense ratings, not only in the side attacks, but also in the central. You see, now this is not absolutely not a good example. Don't push too much defending the winger, maximum 10, but it's just a way to show how the skill can have an impact in the specific area of the lineup. And maybe you can have more passing, so and that is supporting the attack rating. So this could be a winger toward middle. You will pay less, but is supporting anyway the main concept of a 3-5-2. Give priority to the midfield, keep a good level of defense. On top of that, anyway, you have two sides really competitive. And if you play like this, you can do other kind of repositioning. For example, you can play with the inner midfielder offensive. Now you are losing midfield, but you are improving the attack, the two sides of the attack, and this could be important. What you can do to recover the 0.25 that you lost with this kind of repositioning. Sometimes it works, sometimes not, but if you have you are not playing with the marker, because the marker cannot be repositioned because it won't work. But let's have an example that this is not the marker, but is the set pieces taker, and is with 9 playmaking like the other example. Here we are improving the midfield. So if you like this, so you are in a situation in which your opponent more or less is with your could play in 4-4-2, so you want to push even more the attack ratings, but still you want to keep the level of midfield at that level, because if you're reducing the midfield, the 4-4-2 of the opponent could gain action. So what we can do, we can boost the attacks with the inner midfielder offensive, and you can put the wingback toward middle to improve, to come back in the original situation in which the midfield was at 12 and 75. This could be some example of how to leverage. In this case, the side, the left side is not so competitive, but you are preserving the midfield, having anyway good level of defense, mainly central attack, that if your opponent is attacking there is even perfect, and still you have 2 competitive attack. Obviously these ratings are so high because I shared with you really strong skills, but what you can find in the market, a powerful could be anyway you need playmaking to trigger the event. So for me, playmaking you need to keep 17 in scoring and a little bit of passing less. This could be in lower series, try to keep at least 11 in playmaking. You need playmaking you need. Try to prioritize scoring and playmaking, and the other skill, try to find what you find. Also 5 in winger, don't touch it. Anyway, priority to playmaking and scoring. For a normal forward, what we can say, obviously scoring is always important, top 15. Playmaking you can be less, and you can prioritize the other players for midfielders if you want to pay less. Winger also here is not always easy to find, passing at least 13. Anyway, this kind of player, look at the proportion, you are prioritizing mainly the central attack with this kind of player. After that, obviously the inner midfielder are 17, 18 playmaking, okay. In the top series at least 18 you need to have, because after that you have the man markers, because if the man marker with 18 in defense is able to have a higher skill of the primary skill, so 18 defending against 17 in playmaking, will be a problem for you. You will have a huge impact in man marking. Let's talk also about the central defender. Central defender, for me, always priority to defense. So 17, for example, playmaking a little bit less, passing always helpful, you don't know what you need to play. So 8, anyway, priority to defense. For the wing back that are expensive, if 17 is a dream, guys, try to have at least 14 in series, already quite competitive. You need to improve in some way the side attacks, and the wingback can support you on that. Playmaking can be a little bit less. Between the others, the 4 skill, for a wingback maybe playmaking is the less relevant, because passing you need to play counter attack in specific situation, defending you need to defend, and winger need to push the side attacks. So these could be some examples. So let's conclude the video. And here we are at the end of the video. I think I share with you a lot of concepts that can help you to leverage in your 3-5-2. I think at least the half of you is playing right now at 3-5-2. The other half is facing the 3-5-2 in the weekly championship matches. And now you know how can be built a strong 352. We will see in the next episode the other lineup. The next one will be the 442. At the end, we will see the example. It's important because we need at the end to have in mind that, speaking about the 352 now, Hattrick is not so complicated. For a 3, you will play mainly 5-3-5-2. The 90% of your 3-5-2 will be played in the same way. 3-5-2 with 2 wingers toward middle, 3-5-2 with 2 wingers toward middle and the central defender offensive, maybe with the wingbacks toward middle, maybe with the inner midfielder offensive. These are the scenarios. There are no other kind of repositioning complicated with a lot of arrows. No. And if you know how to leverage in the 5-3-5-2 most common, you are able to face the main scenario that you will face against your opponent. The 3-5-2 with the two wingers toward middle and the central defender offensive, you will play that mainly away, or mainly when you are with less team spirit, so you need to cover the gap of midfield against the opponent. You will play a normal 3-5-2 with no arrows, the wingers normal, when you are in a good situation at home, when you are thinking that your opponent could play also counter-attack, so you won't push so much the midfield. You want to have a balanced level of attack ratings and also defense. Maybe you need an inner midfielder offensive to even push more the central attack, thinking about a counter-attack of your opponents. Maybe you are not able to have 2 strong wingers, you just need 1, and you need to have a winger toward middle and an inner midfielder offensive to support the opposite side attacks. So there are no so huge scenario. There are few ones, but that ones can be the top ones that can improve your chance to win, to improve your plays. This example is for all the lineups. There are specific 3-5-2, there are specific 4-4-2, there are specific 4-3-2. The most common one can cover the 90% of your tactic choices. I don't know if I was clear, I hope yes, and now I can leave you with that. See you in the next video. Ciao ciao.